All over the east coast or Bay of Bengal, relative sea level in Sundarbans adjoining areas is rising at the rate of 3.14 millimeter per year, which is more than the global average. There is a change in the biodiversity, particularly the floral and faunal diversity is showing evidence of stressed growth. I mean, Sundarbans, there are 4 million people living in this fragile ecosystem and they are dependent upon paddy cultivation. 6,000 people have become environmental migrants, or you may call environmental refugees, and they have been settled in Chagor Island. And with our modeling of population density and sea level change and erosion, we could foresee that there will be 30,000 environmental refugees in Sundarbans by 2020, and it may cross a 50,000 mark even due to excess in storm surge and cyclones.
Hello and welcome. I'm Raya Abirashid and this is World Business, your weekly insight into the global business trends shaping our lives. They were eyewitnesses to climate change in the Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove reserve under threat and one of the most unique ecosystems in South Asia. A reality check as the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Copenhagen got underway. Over the last few weeks, World Business has been introducing you to the people and companies addressing the crucial changes in our natural environment. For the last part in our series, we look at how the corporate world is now seriously investing in renewable energy and rolling out unique business solutions to address climate change.
It took a while for the 91 turbines to start turning at the world's largest offshore wind farm a few months ago. But turn they did in the North Sea off the westernmost tip of Denmark, a massive achievement for Dong Energy. It's the first time wind turbines have ever been built so far offshore. 30 kilometres from the coast, this trailblazing development will eventually power 200,000 homes. But like any energy project on this scale, it needed a kickstart.
It is quite costly to build wind turbine parks offshore, and the economics in the project were not so impressive.
Despite the upfront investment, Dong found a solution through a unique partnership. Novo Nordisk, the world's largest insulin producer. From the outset, they committed to buy energy from Horns Rev 2, therefore reducing the investment risk.
We have quite a large electricity consumption in Denmark, because producing insulin is a very energy-intensive production. And we are actually so large that we can consume a third of the world's largest wind farm, which has recently been established at Horns Rev.
That's because Novo Nordisk is in the market for buying renewable energy, part of its commitment to a WWF initiative called Climate Savers, where corporations pledge to slash greenhouse gas emissions.
It has helped us in Novo Nordisk achieve our 10% reduction target, which would have been impossible without that partnership. I also think the partnership has achieved that we now have a model in Denmark, a completely new model of getting CO2-free energy at a reasonable price.
The business model involves Dong experts first inspecting Novo Nordisk's factories. These technicians then find new ways to cut the company's power bills.
All these ideas are then turned into projects. And when we implement these projects, we save energy. When we save energy, we save money. And instead of just putting the money in the pocket, we have basically earmarked them in order for us to be able to pay the premium it takes to switch to renewable energy.
There are now more than 200 projects, saving 45 million kilowatt hours of power. That's the equivalent to turning 86,000 light bulbs off for 1 year. This saving allows Novo Nordisk to pay for a clean energy supply at a time when oil prices are rising again.
There's sort of a race going on because everybody knows we're going to have to replace the entire energy system of the planet in the next few decades to avert catastrophe. And not only that, but we're reaching peak production in oil, so we can expect a return to record oil prices.
Novo Nordisk closely manages its emissions by using the Greenhouse Gas Protocol, the international benchmark for measuring carbon footprints.
So Greenhouse Gas Protocol gives methods to measure your emissions, or tools to measure your emissions. So it's like a thermometer that you use at home to measure temperature. And so it's like a greenhouse gas thermometer.
Novo Nordisk has a long history of environmentally friendly production, going back to the origins of its partnership with Dong, forged over a decade ago in an unusual location. This is where it all started, at Kalundborg, 100 kilometers west of Copenhagen. The partnership between Novo Nordisk and Dong Energy at Denmark's largest power station, producing lots of wasted steam that's then utilised in the production of insulin.
You can say at our biggest site in Kalundborg, we've had a long tradition of working closely together with a number of companies, one of them being our energy supplier. And the whole idea about that has basically to build the symbiosis of how could we more efficiently use each other to the bigger benefit of the environment.
It's this industrial symbiosis and trust built over a decade at Kalundborg that's given momentum to Novo Nordisk's latest climate partnership at Hornsrev 2, now inspiring 16 other companies to replicate the same business model and expand the use of wind energy.
The interest for this partnership model has been increasing significantly during these 2 years. So now we have, I think, most of the big industrial companies in Denmark have now been in discussion with us to make similar, tailor-made to their specific needs.
The partnership we have set up with Dong Energy, it was the obvious thing for us to do. I think it's not limited to a Danish experience. It could be done in the same way anywhere.
It may currently be the world's biggest offshore wind farm, but Hornsrev 2 will soon be dwarfed by new developments. The London array will be nearly 4 times as large, and there lies the opportunity for more climate partnerships that reduce emissions.